Welcome to Black Girl Say Something, where this black girl has something to say. Happy Friday. We are in eclipse season. If that don't mean nothing to you, it means something to me. Because I think we're having like a lunar eclipse this weekend. This weekend, we transition into fall. I think fall starts Monday. I'm excited because I have my fall decorations. Y'all know I still have my Christmas tree up. If you didn't know, now you know. It's been up for the better part of now we're going into a year and 9 months where we've been decorating it for practically every holiday. And holidays for us consist of birthdays. But if you're here, you're tuning in, I appreciate the support. I want to take some time to celebrate one of my sisters who got a job, y'all, after being in between jobs, in between contracts and business deals. Like I like to say, of course, she's not a business owner, but she's been in between some things and pivoting and just pivoting. Like, when you shoot with somebody in the gym, you see their work and you feel their work, right? And it's like, I remember saying prayers and it's like, she's been planting the seeds. She's been tilling the ground. She's been faithful over a few things. Make her ruler over much. And essentially, she finally got something. She finally got a job offer. And it's just so funny how it works out, because in this space where it's not who you know, it's what you know, and all of the job advice between her and I, we've heard it all and we've cross-referenced with each other. And we would say, if you have not been without a job in the last year and secured a job, ultimately, your advice can't help me. Unless you are the person who can put me through and get me hired, there's nothing much you really can do for me. And that's where we were at. And this was one of those things where if they want you, they want you. It's kind of like how I secured the contract that I'm currently working. It was like they wanted me, they made provisions for me, right? If they want you, they'll make provisions for you. In this current job market, it is really hard to get a job. And if you are somebody who likes to give people job advice and you've been in your job for the last 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, stop it, please. At the sound of my voice, just stop. Because somebody who's been looking for work for the better part of 2-3 months, they don't want your job advice. They don't want to hear revamp your resume. They don't want to hear write a compelling cover letter. They don't want to hear put your resume into Chat GPT and see what happens. They don't want to hear that, right? And so I've had a lot of time this week to work on some other things because I didn't have to go to work. It's midterms. And so this job doesn't require the part-time faculty to administer midterms. They put the brunt of that on full-time faculty, which meant I didn't get paid this week, which also meant I didn't make any money this week. So I'm on to the next venture, and it's not a new venture. It's something old, something that I've been telling people that my close-knit people that I was going to do, and I launched it. It was already ready to go. And that's one of the things. If you stay ready, you don't have to necessarily get ready. I made some calls. I had some meetings. I was supposed to have some phlebotomy clients today. They canceled. So this week is one of them weeks where I'm a little tight-fisted, a little tight-faced, because ultimately, I had a lot of fruitful calls this week. So I'm hopeful, right, as we close out the last quarter of the year, as we go into fall. I ultimately wrote a post on Facebook and I was just like, it is the 9th month. Let's deliver that good news. It is the 9th month. Let's harvest. Let's deliver. Let's give birth to all of those things that we've been working on, that we've kind of put to the wayside, that we kind of had not been working, laboring over it, but is still ultimately growing and is doing what it needs to do. I think of some of my passion projects as an aloe plant. Y'all know I have a baby garden, nothing major. I'm growing some ginger. I was growing basil, but basil, once the sun hits it too hard, it dries out. And then I started growing some peppers. And peppers need to be moved, and I don't be moving them. Aloe, on the other hand, no matter where it is, inside or outside, is going to thrive. And it got me to thinking about how some of my passion projects are just like aloe. I don't have to constantly watch over them. I don't have to constantly move them around to catch the sun and be blocked from the shade. And then some of them are a little bit more delicate, like basil. They can't get too much sun or they'll burn. I have to move them from one side of the house to the other side of the house so that they get shade when they need shade and sun when they need sun. And also, we're in the rainy season, right? Where I live, we're in full on hurricane season. We're at peak hurricane season right now. Hurricane season goes from what? June 1st? Yeah, June 1st to November 30th or December 1st. But we're in peak hurricane season right now. So of a 5-day week, a 7-day week, it's going to rain 5 days, right? There's going to be storms and rain and all of that. And so on that point, you have to know when to bring the plants in and when to let the plants out. And so I think about some of the things that I do in the way that I treat my plants or in the way that I work with plants. But I'm just so proud and so happy to know that I even shed a little tear. And I even was like, yeah, when people around me receive good, when people around me get their good news, I always found myself to be one that gets emotional as if it's my good news. And that's just because I believe in good things for others as I believe in good things for myself. And today also, Cardi B dropped her album, and I'm like, how many songs in? I am 9 songs in, and let me just tell you, I'm in love, okay? Bars on top of bars, make rap relatable again, make rap stories again. She definitely did her big one with this. She is also a Libra, so creativity, I was never concerned about it. But I think when I watched different critiques, and I'm going to take a sidebar real quick, when I watched the different critiques of hers, like why she didn't drop the album this time, why she didn't drop the album this time. This is not a summer album. This is very much a healing album. And when the girls can put paper to pen, put their voice to the mic, and say what they need to say, it's healing, it's refreshing, it's rejuvenating, right? I think ultimately I've shared a lot of what I've been through, but essentially there's a lot that I still haven't shared. And so to hear it translate through some of these songs, it's like, wow, it's refreshing to know that even in my storytelling, even in the time that I've had Black Girl Say Something, and so many people have resonated, and so many people say, you're healing me through this podcast, or, God is using you to get the story out there so other people are not shy to tell their story. Essentially, there's some things that I'll never share. There's just some things I'll never share. I've shared with my therapist. I've shared in my journal. But there are some things I'll never share. And one of her songs, it's called Dead, and it features Summer Walker. And she said, I tried to come in peace, but you tore me to pieces. And there are so many other bars that I have not simply dissected yet. I just took some time to listen to the album while I went to go charge my car and run a couple of quick errands after dropping the kids off to school. But I'm on song number 9, and I'm just like, yeah, I got to finish this. Also, did y'all know Lizzo dropped an album? I'm kind of right now in my music bag because, again, music is healing, and I've found myself at the second quarter of the year creating a playlist of songs that make me feel good, of songs that I can use as affirmations, like Pla's I Got Plenty Money is on there. Songs that I can ultimately use as affirmations, because music is healing, and even what you allow into your ears, it does take place into your subconscious. Like, it does plant into your subconscious. So I've been reworking myself with music, with sound. Even Juicy J from 3-6 Mafia, while on tour, anywho, dropped a jazz album that is probably going to make it. I'm already thinking about what's going to make it onto my top 10. Little John has been dropped a guided meditation album. So yeah, like, did y'all know these things? Because when I wrote it on Facebook, like, these are the people that I'm listening to right now. Of course, I don't have a big following on Facebook, and I probably never will, because I block people so frequently. I was monetized on Facebook, and then I got demonetized because they changed the parameters of what you need to be monetized. But outside of that, some recent events that took place, politically or free speechly, whatever you want to call it, I've had to block quite a few people because some people are on the wrong side of things and they don't know how to get back on the right side of things. And this is why I say, if you are not in a place where you understand research, where you understand how information can be translated, and you go down a rabbit hole because you're looking for something to be connected to, you can ultimately find yourself getting connected to the wrong thing. So, go in peace, be on social media in peace. The people are saying we back to watching DVDs. Baby, I never stopped watching DVDs. I got 2 DVD players and a host of DVDs. Matter of fact, if I could go to the pawn shop and buy me a VCR, I would, because I have VHS tapes still, okay? When they cleaned out my great aunt's house, they brought me all the VHS, and I was like, I want them. I want these. These are a moment in time. These are indicative of what we saw as entertainment, and I want them. And so I said I was going to get a VCR. I want a VCR. I want a record player, and I want a telescope. Those are the things, because my birthday is coming up in October, but those are the things that I really would like to have. Not before this year is over, but those are just some things that are on a wish list, a mental wish list. I haven't physically wrote them down anywhere, but it is a mental wish list that every so often it comes up in casual conversation. Anywho, I just want to say I appreciate everyone for their support. I appreciate everyone for their encouraging words. People who have, the kind things to say during this transition phase. I don't want to spend too much time talking about that, because going forward, you are going to hear a different sound, a different, there's a change in the content. And I'm appreciative of any time I can pivot into the different areas. I'm so multifaceted that essentially I might be picking up a certification for something that I want to get into. Because that's what I do. I love education, and education loves me. Okay. And staying in peace is easy when you have things going on, when you have things that you like to do, when you like what you do, when you like who you are and who you're becoming. If something was said that resonated with you, share this with at least one person. Remember, you can tune into Black Girl Say Something every Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe over on Patreon. Follow us on TikTok. Like us on Facebook. And as always, you could subscribe to our YouTube, because we over there too. Till next time, thank you for listening.